everyone, it's Tiffany and we're live from South Shore BMW just like we are every Tuesday at 3. Today we're with Photius and he's going to take us through an M3. He's our resident M expert here, so be sure to ask him any questions that you might have as the video goes and we'll answer. Just like always, be sure to follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, YouTube, all of those things so that you can stay connected and know what's going on in the dealership and also get notifications about when we do fun stuff like this, like when we go live. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking at.
Well, first off, Tiffany, thank you. And thanks everybody for watching. I'm the M specialist at the dealership here at South Shore BMW. This here is a 2017 M3 competition package. They debuted the competition package in 2016, and there's quite a few changes to the car that make it more unique than your traditional M3. First, we'll start with the wheels. This has the competition package specific 20-inch wheels.
It's pretty, so they're bigger than the normal.
Yep. It has a different suspension tuning. It also has different limited slip differential tuning, so the car feels a lot more planted than a regular M3 would. And it just really transforms the car into even more so of a track car. They upgraded the horsepower from 425 to 449, so there's a little bit of bump in horsepower. Seats are different, and there's a few minor changes that are in the car. That's what composes the competition package. So
what makes this particular, or any M3, different from more rare M-Series cars like an M2 or an M4 GTS?
A lot of it's going to come down to preference. Like the M4 GTS is a very, very limited production car, so that's kind of like outside of the group. Mm-hmm. So you have the M4, M3, and M2, and I think it ends up coming down to personal preference. Like the M2 is a coupe, the M4 is a coupe, the M3 is a sedan, which works for a lot of people that need those extra set of two doors. So it comes down to personal preference, but they're all very close.
And so what I've heard about personal preference is, you know, the word on the street kind of thing is you drive an M3, so this is a preference of yours.
Yeah, it's simply an amazing car right out the box. Doesn't need any changes. I mean, in some ways it's not the most practical car for people who need all-wheel drive. You'll have to, you know, go with the regular 3 Series sedan, which is an amazing car in itself, but not very practical in the wintertime.
And the competitive package in this one just kind of gives it an edge.
Yes, yeah, it definitely gives it an edge. Now it bumps the price up almost $5,000, but you get quite a bit in that. I mean, if you're going for an M model, you're probably going to go all the way anyway. But yeah, it's just a breathtaking car. There's nothing like it.
So what are some of the differences between the 2016 and the 2017? I mean, exterior, interior, that kind of thing.
Exterior for 16 and 17, if you get the competition package, does change the wheels that we spoke of before, and the seats and some of the seat belts are changed. They have the tricolor stitching in it. 2015, the competition package wasn't available, but you could still get your car without a competition package. It'll be just like the 15 and 16s. Okay. But minor changes. The iDrive system has changed to iDrive 5.0. It's a little bit quicker, different software, different hardware. Everything just works a little bit better. They just keep tweaking them as they go. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, a little bit. And that's with speed too. So if we're talking about keeping up, you know, performance cars are known to go fast. Like you said, it's a track car. It's one of those, you know, it can take speed. So what is the top speed that this car in particular can reach?
Well, here in the United States, they're governed. They're governed to a certain speed. Supposedly it's governed at 155 miles an hour, but they tend to get to about 160, 163. But if you had one without a governor at all, it would reach speeds close to 190.
And what about you? How fast have you gone? Something you don't want to share.
Well, I've been up to 163. That's how I know that it doesn't stop the 155 limiter.
Oh, all right.
But it was on a closed course.
Closed course. And safety first, always. Never,
that's right.
You know, we don't anticipate anyone going, or hope that nobody.
But it's a very, very fast car. There's nothing quite like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm you know, newer to the BMW side, so I'm learning as we go, and I notice, like, even on the interior, if we go inside, obviously the seats are different.
Yep, very, very aggressive. A lot of bolstering to be able to hold you in if you're doing any kind of performance driving. Mm-hmm. And they have these little cutouts here. Everything's all about saving weight. The car has a carbon fiber roof. carbon fiber drive shaft. It just it's all about weight savings, and they did a really good job putting this car on a diet. So it's very, very agile.
Putting the car on a
Yeah.
diet. I love it. So is it more lightweight than other BMW
Yes.
models?
Well, this is actually lighter than a regular 3 Series even.
Oh, okay. So
Now what the M division does is M stands for motorsport. Back in the day, there was their racing division, and they take the series production cars like a 3 Series, a 5 Series, and then they put them through the M shop. And what they do is they almost redesign the car completely. So an M3 is going to be dramatically different than a 340. Both great cars, but it's just a different level of performance that they do with the M cars.
can we get in and look at the dash and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over on the other side. Give everyone a little bit of a view in general. So I think because you drive an M3 and that's something that you sit in that driver's seat every day
Yep.
of your car, what are some things that maybe someone who's going to purchase this car should know about everyday driving? What would you tell your customers about?
Well, my advice honestly would be to, if possible, try to attend a driving school and performance driving school. But if that's not something that you can do, or do time constraints or whatever, don't shut off the traction control.
Okay.
Yeah, don't mess around. Don't shut it off completely, because the car can be very snappy and it can be very dangerous if you don't know how to use it. That would be my advice mostly. My other advice would be to, if you're going to drive it in the winter, you simply have to get snow tires and wheels. Otherwise, just don't drive it, because you're not going to move.
And do you drive your car in the winter?
Not if there's snow on the ground.
Not if there's snow on the ground. Yeah. Okay. So what are some safety features in the car that, would be helpful to know for someone who maybe can't attend the driving school, but still want the car because, it's one of those I have to have it moments?
It's actually a very, very well built, safe car. There's a lot of advanced braking features that will, prep the car. Like, the car's actually very intelligent. Like, if you are driving down the highway and you suddenly lift off the throttle very abruptly, the car thinks that you might get into emergency braking maneuver. So what it does is it snugs up the pads up against the rotor, so you can just brake that much quicker. 5-star crash testing all around. It's a IIHS top pick as far as safety goes. And the traction control that I was talking about earlier works very, very well. There's 2 different versions to it. One's more aggressive than the other, but you do have some protection. You just got a little bit of a safety cage with it.
And you said it's loud.
It is loud. I do want to start it up, and I'm going to initially start it up. You should be able to hear it in just the regular mode. The car has different modes to the exhaust.
Oh yeah, you can't hear it.
Yeah, the car is actually pretty loud. So this is what it sounds like in just your regular mode if you just start it up. But if you go into sport mode, which shows you right here,
yep,
it's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, definitely. So you can hear it from the inside. And I'm just going to step out really quick to kind of let people know the difference. So you may not be able to hear me, but you could definitely hear the car. Oh yeah. All right. So what is that noise? I mean, purpose. Where does that come from? That noise. That's not something that people obviously are going to worry about. But what does it tell you about the car?
The sound?
Yeah.
It tells you that it is designed for one specific reason: everyday speed. It pushes the envelope of a traditional 3 Series and BMW as a whole. It just really pushes the envelope. Like I said, it's amazing. Do everything you want it to, and you can still have it be a very civil car depending on what mode you're in. It's just it's a very dynamic car, to say the least.
Right. So when we talk about displays and different modes that it can be in, sport mode, things like that, can you talk a little bit about the heads-up display with M-specific display?
The head-up display that a lot of BMWs have is a little bit different in the M model. Mainly that you can actually put the entire tachometer up onto the windshield.
Okay.
There's a lot of different modes that you can choose, but traditionally it's going to show you your speed, navigation, whoever's calling you, whatever radio stations you're going through. But on the M model, if you go to M-specific, it'll actually have the RPM gauge, so if you're doing any high-performance driving, you can see exactly when you need to shift.
Perfect. And as far as where to find it, we have this car in stock.
Yep, we have 2 others like it. It's actually very rare to have this many competition package cars, so if that's what you're looking for, now's the time.
And if I wanted to come in and find out more about the M Series, but I'm not ready to buy yet, are you the person that I would go to kind of ask those questions? Are you here to kind of answer those questions as well?
Yeah. Yep, that's why they labeled me as the M specialist of the dealership, but we also have 3 BMW geniuses, product specialists, who are pretty knowledgeable on the topic as well.
That's great. Now, is there anything else you think, we haven't gone over, but that people definitely need to know about the M3 with the competitive package?
Don't try to race it, because you'll lose. I think that's it.
All right. Well, like I said, we're here every Wednesday. Dealership. We go back and forth between talking to Greg and Photius, and they tell us all the fun stuff about the different cars. So if there's something that you want to see, definitely let us know, because we'll do it. I know last week we did a service overview. Next week we're going to do something else with Photius, and he's going to take us through maybe another performance car. Maybe we'll go on a test drive. We'll kind of figure it out as we go, but be sure to follow us and ask questions, and we'll see you next week. All right, bye guys.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.